Welcome to the Creative Masterminds podcast.
Yeah.
You already know he got in the house. You have Shawn in the house, and you also have
Cast Thrive. What's happening?
Yes, sir. Hopefully, you guys are doing really well. You know how we do already with our podcast. We start with a week in review, and then we hop into our subject. Today's subject is how to deal with stress and also being a decision maker. And we believe that those things really do tie together. A lot of times we end up having a decision we need to make in our lives, and that big decision tend to cause us stress. And I believe that we need to know how to deal with that stress, how to manage that stress, and also how to be very good decision makers. So,
straight up.
But before we hop into the subject, let's go ahead and talk about our week and what we got done. So, Cass, can you discuss what you got done this week?
Most definitely. Yeah. Coach my classes, taking care of my clients. Actually, somebody that you introduced me to, this 18-year-old fighter, he wants me to represent him for a boxing tournament coming up. I think it's the weekend of the 9th. So y'all pray and have that mindset everything is going to work out for me, because I think that'll be a lot of fun. And hopefully Shawn Breeze can roll with me out there and we can get this win, take the whole tournament. You know what I'm saying? And besides that, man, just taking care of the family, staying strong, renewing my mind, making sure that I'm learning new things. Got a couple of beats in over the weekend, got back into that. I'm going to start working on some projects. Got a project in mind, so I'm going to drop that real soon. And, just staying solid, man. 100. That's the main thing,
Actually, a question came to mind when you talk about your project. Like, do you have a specific intention for your project yet? Or I know you're right now in the discovery phase. That's what I would call it. But like maybe trying to find the sound of it. Like, do you have like an intention for it?
Yeah, definitely. When doing like a project, I definitely that would be the first step, and then I'll start working on some beats, and then add lyrics to it. That's kind of my process. But yeah, I have the whole outline of the project. It's gonna be about 3 songs, and I have the main objective of it. I'll hold off on that till
Okay.
Get some completed songs and all that. But yeah, it'll be coming out real soon, and it has a message and a whole driving force behind it for sure.
That's great. That's dope. Yeah, that's why I really realized how well. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I realized is very important. Like recently, is like creating with intention. Like beforehand, I would say I would create music with not a clear intention, like not a clear end goal in sight. Yeah. And I played this beat for you last week, I believe. And like one of my favorite beats I have ever created in my whole beat making history. And
yeah, I like that. It was fire.
Thank you. And that beat came about because I had clear intentions of what I wanted to, what I want to come across to the audience or what I want people to feel. And so, that's why I like just saying that to creators that whenever you create, have that clear intention. It really does help make sure that you are, that you stay focused and you stay in alignment. And you achieve what you want to achieve with what you create with your art. And so it's very important that you have intentions set for whenever you create.
Definitely. Yeah, you gotta have like a target, and that just makes it easier. It makes the process easier. You can also freestyle and just do something just off the creative tip. That's a different thing. But if you you have something, a goal that you're trying to reach, then you should plan it out. But that's how we always go over it.
100% agree. 100% agree. For me, this week, what did I get done? Made a whole bunch of beats, or I finalized my beat tape really. So I got like 5 beats that are done, arranged and everything.
The done-duns.
They're done. And I say they're a mix. I will more than likely go through the tracks to make sure that the mixes are good. I need to go into the car and make sure that I play in the car to make sure that the mix is good. But For the
Word
most
up.
part, the beats are knocking. The beats are, I think, very different from what I have created in the past. I would describe those to be more cinematic. I would say I watched a lot of movies during this process, like the Pursuit of Happiness,
Yeah.
Bad Boys, Bad Boys One. Like a sidebar for sure. Bad Boys One is a certified classic. That must still hits
Oh yeah.
today.
Yeah.
But like watching different movies, Bad Boys, Pursuit of Happiness,
That's
various
funny, Martin. Though that's funny, Martin. You
yeah, he
know.
was like, yeah, right. He was
Yeah.
actually like funny. Like you feel like he was had soul, but not him. That wasn't Big Mama House, Martin.
Right.
But I'm not going sidebar because I saw like a video of Brandon T. Jackson talking about his mess up. His mess up was slip was like him regretting doing that movie. He did the sequel with Martin anyway, but that's like
Yeah.
a sidebar. But yeah, just like being inspired by movies and putting that into my music, and so I'm very proud of this project. I will more than likely have like those 5 beats on the beat tape, and then I will put 2 tracks that I did on the end of the beat tape to make it like a complete thing. So like it's gonna be like 5 instrumentals and 2 rap tracks.
Oh.
Like that. So that's like how I'm like lightly introducing my raps into people's ears. And so been doing that, been working on rapping as well. Me and Jeremy put out something called Crazy SH asterisk T. It's on
Yeah.
my SoundCloud, Shawn Breeze. So check that out. It's like really fire. Like it has a lot of numbers, a lot of decent numbers, and people are liking it, and I'm very proud of that. Um,
Nice.
it's like it's a part of our versus series where we take other people's beats and then we just kill the beats and like do it much better than what they do with the beat. So very proud of that. Just
Nice.
working on more and more music, like making beats and rapping and just becoming better as an artist. Of course, putting that love and time into the creative masterminds, creating clips and like trying to push that more. And I would say that's mainly it, really. So let's go ahead and hop into the
Solid.
subject, which is I want to say like maybe we should start with decision making first, and then that can lead to relieving stress. I think that will flow a lot better than like stress and then decision making. So yeah, decision making. What makes you like think of that topic, Kaz? Like what inspired that for you?
It's just like a lot of the areas of my life where I'm improving, and where stress and other things might be involved. It's important to make the decision to get things done. Not being on the fence, not taking too much time, like allow myself to worry or think too much, because I can get to that point where I'm thinking a lot about something, just a little detail or whatnot. But you gotta we gotta think, but we also gotta be actors. We have to be in action, we have to be physical. So that's where it's finding that the balance of being mental, being in the mental and being physical. So it's finding that balance. But I was leaning more in the mental, like I was getting strong mentally. I renew my mind, I read, I do these things to strengthen my mind. But if head heavy, you just
Mm-hmm.
gonna be leaning forward.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna be
Yeah.
able to get nothing done. But you have to balance that out. So it was making the decision in my mind to do it, and then acting
Mm-hmm.
with the situations to reach my goal, and to be prepared to fulfill our purpose. That's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? Is getting the job done. And in order to do that, we got to make that decision that we are going to do that, I'm going this route. If I have to take a detour, that's fine. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm right now, you have to start to get to the finish line. And that's the whole point, is, doing the decision is starting.
That's true. That's true. Because like when you start making decisions and start making actions, that's when you start to really receive valuable information as to like what are the effects of these actions that I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
or how like I think this will be a good example. Like let's say like you have content, like I would say I have like a bunch of content that's stored up, like photography, videos, all these things stored up. And for a long time I was like very hesitant. And I'm not as hesitant as I am like now. I think I'm
Mhm.
actually more like action prone. But I was like hesitant, just like really overthinking things and just too concerned with how people will receive things instead of like doing things for my enjoyment. And doing things that bring me joy and bring me pleasure and releasing things that I think are dope. Um,
Yeah.
so a lot of that, like I would have somewhat, I guess, I don't, it's not anxiety, but just be overthinking about putting out content on Instagram and just trying to consider about what people will think and how they receive. And so I forgot where I was leading to with the point, but one thing I've been focusing on recently is pushing past that, just putting things out and letting people receive the content, and then we can gauge if it's like quality or not. Like a lot of times we are just stuck in our own head. A lot of times we have this view. Like I was talking to my wife last night. Last night was actually our anniversary, so happy anniversary to us.
Happy
uh,
anniversary. Congrats on that.
appreciate that. And so like we were talking about, like she's talking about like building her business, like she wants to start a line of food products that will help nursing mothers nurse better. And so
Nice.
the thing is, like whenever you're creating things, or just as all creators, when we create stuff, we had this idea in mind, and we end up creating something, right? Sometimes we think that creation is trash, but it's just not. It's not really trash. Sometimes, a lot of times, I would say, but sure, it's just not in alignment with what we thought we wanted to go with, but it can still be a great quality product, right? And so a lot of times we end up um, thinking that other people are aware of what we wanted it to be. It's like I think a good example will also be like me making my fire chicken wings. Like I'll come up with like a recipe off the top of my head with these
Yeah.
different flavors, right? And I have this intention in mind. And if the intention, and if I don't taste like what I want it to come from it, I'll be like disappointed within myself. But a lot of times people will be like, "No, this is fire. This is super fragrant. I like it. I love it." And so, just keep in mind that I say all that to say, let people decide if your stuff is fire or not. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a type of person who is like very hesitant and like putting things out, and you're very subconscious, or you think that you're not good enough to put things out, or your content is not good enough, just put it out. Be a decision maker. Do it, and let the world decide. I think a lot of people end up like stalling themselves because they just overthink things, and they believe that people will judge them. And I think a lot of artists just take things very personal, because our art is very personal. And so whenever we release art, we believe that whenever a person judge our art, they are judging us. At least that's how I felt initially. But now
Hmm.
I have been able to actually like really told that line, like, all right, this is just art and this is me. So my art is my art, and that's what it is. And you can like it, you can love it, but the art is art. And also like it comes with like me being happy with myself as well and who I am. So I'll say that.
Definitely, man. And the intent behind
Yeah.
the art that we're putting out, if we're doing it, if a person's doing it just to get praise from others, but they're not doing it to like benefit the listener or benefit the viewer that sees the art or whatever it may be, then you're gonna get different results. A person is gonna output have their output is gonna be different.
Mhm.
Like if a person is just trying to get praise, or if they're just trying to do something for money or for whatever, it would be different, or the output will probably be different if they're doing it for the audience. If they're doing
Mhm.
it for the people that will view it, then they're probably going to come at it in a different way, a different angle, and create it differently. So
Mhm.
also our intent behind it, is very important, I believe. So
Absolutely true. It's like you don't want to do it for worldly accolades. Like you don't want to do like what you do for the money, for
hmm
sure. You don't want to do it for like love of people, like love of the world. Like you want to do it because or I have changed my intentions to, or focus on my intentions of like putting things out that will give value to other people. And
Right.
from doing that, you will get those things, like those worldly things. But the primary thing that you need to focus on is what value are you giving to people? What are your intentions? Are your intentions pure? And make sure that you stick with that. That's why I believe that this B tape that I'm working on is a lot better than my past B tape, because I had a like a clear intentions of what I wanted to create, what like I wanted to, like the world that I wanted to create with this B tape. And what I want people to feel from this B tape. And even with my music, the latest track that me and Jeremy did, JJ3K, um,
Mm-hmm.
like it was clear intentions. Like I wrote down my lyrics instead of like just freestyling it. I wrote down my lyrics, and I wanted to give a point across about like just how a lot of it is like heavy, heavily centered around police brutality, just growing up in the inner city, and also like the inner city being gentrified. Like a lot of stuff is like it's very socially aware. uh, um it's a very socially aware track, and I had clear intentions in making it so. And me doing that made me just very proud of like, all right, this track is like where I'm actually providing value. I'm speaking for people who feel like how I feel, and so they can feel less alone in their life, in life in general. And so, yeah, man, your intentions are very, very important. And you want to make sure that you have pure intentions, or you want to make sure that you check your intentions, I would say for sure, before you create. And because that will help, like, make sure that you stay in alignment with what you create. And then I guess, like, of course, when you decide to release a thing, you'll be proud of what you released, because, you did what you did, and you know the reason why you did it. So,
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
And giving, you can't go wrong giving. I
Yeah.
mean, some people aren't, it isn't meant for some people to receive it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's out there for somebody giving. And it may not be our best product yet, or it may not be our best product that we will do in our lifetime or whatever. But giving, you can't go wrong with giving, whether it be art, helping somebody out, some kind words or whatever. Giving, that's part of every, I believe, every human being's purpose,
Mm-hmm.
and as part of the process is giving to others. And you know, that a lot of us probably do, you know, rack up a lot of content and a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
But when the time's right, we should give it, and you can't go wrong giving. I mean, because that's gonna bless somebody else. May not be for certain people and all that, but trust me, us giving off that energy, that energy to give to somebody else, it will be received by somebody, and it blesses us, the person that's giving, to get it off our chest instead of just holding it in,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not fulfilling our purpose. It's not helping it. It's not living its purpose. Whatever you created or whatever, holding it to ourselves is not letting it fulfill the reason it was made or from what happened. So
And like, yeah, absolutely true, absolutely true. And I had a thought right when you said something about, thought was so fleeting, man. Man, yeah, man,
reel it back, reel it in,
I
reel it
started
in,
really
reel
back.
it in, reel it in.
Man, but yeah, no, no, absolutely. And so, yeah, with decision making, you want to be, it's the right term, steadfast with your decision making. I'm not sure, but you want to be like very succinct with your decision making. I know you spoke about earlier about like how you can be sometimes head heavy in some aspects. And I think that's great. Like initially, like you will be head heavy, and it's when you like in a discovery mode, you trying to figure things out and learn things,
Mhm.
whatever. And but then of course you got to get to that point where, all right, let me make a decision about something. They may not let it linger, because yeah, that could be a great source to many people's stress. A lot of people end up becoming very stressed out whenever they have like decisions to make, or they feel like a big decision is about to be made by them. And so one thing I always keep it in the back of my mind is to tell myself that it's going to be okay after every decision. Like
Right.
this decision is not like life or death. Or like I'm not going to die from it. Like nobody's going to get harmed. Like it's just a decision. And the thing is, like back to the attention thing. Like I read in the Quran about like don't be tripping about your mistakes. As long as your intentions are pure, you're good to go.
Yeah,
And
learn from it, right?
yeah, and learn from it, right, and get the lessons and what you can, the lesson that you could take from it that will help you become a better person. And so, yeah, just keep that in mind too. Like, hey, maybe we will make mistakes whenever you make decisions. It's not really mistakes; it's like more so like you. Well, of course, there are mistakes, but there are opportunities, of course, where you can learn from those mistakes and then just become a better person. And then you just like really adjust and then move forward. Don't just be a person who makes a mistake and then just harkens on that mistake. I think that's the term for it. From I don't really use that word like that. Harken. Don't harken or you stay upon that mistake and just dwell upon it because it is what it is. You can't take it back. It happened. That's what that is, and then just move forward. Because you're just wasting your energy. You're wasting your time. You could be taking that time and the energy that you're wasting on thinking about that, and you can change that and transfer that into something that's more productive that will help you move forward and propel you through life in a, I don't want to say rapid fashion, but it'll help you propel you through life for sure. So yeah,
Yeah.
just be very quick with your decision making. Make sure you have all your knowledge that you need to make a good decision, but don't let it stress you out. Don't let it overwhelm you, because it's just if you make a mistake, it's going to be okay. You will learn from it, and you will move forward. For
Yeah,
sure.
and on the opposite side of that, because at first we were talking about like the heavy head
Yeah.
and the one that doesn't act as much.
Mhm.
So on those that who act more and don't think as much or not as heavy, they're heavy handed.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
the the heavy handed ones, they need to
Mm-hmm.
think more because it's that balance. We need to find that balance of the right amount of knowledge and what we know that we can act and get the job done. So if you're more heavy handed where you just go off of your instincts and just act and don't really think about it as much before,
Mm-hmm.
you might want to dial, a person might want to dial that back
Mm-hmm.
and think about it a little more, plan it out a little more before you act. So we want to be, write down, balance as much as we can,
Mm-hmm.
figure out what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, and try to balance that out a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because the more we are balanced, the more solid we'll be and able to get things done. You just play to your strengths and
Yep.
then strengthen your weaknesses a little bit.
It's very true. And I believe a lot of people are very like heavy handed and like high action because they lack patience. And
Yeah.
another thing that they speak about in the Quran that like this phrase that I love when I read it is talked about like patiently persevering. And so yeah, like how you want to just be patient and just be consistent with what you do over time, and eventually you will get to where you want to get in life. So you have to be very patient as you persevere, and also don't allow anybody to shake your faith and what you want to achieve in life, and just always stay strong within your faith. And like I said, practice patience. And then I use a lot of my instincts. Like I feel like after leaving corporate America, I went back to my Oak Cliff instincts of like this is how I move, just more so like all right, like I just feel like an impulse that I go with. Like I would say like it's like more of a rhythm. I have just created my own rhythm to life, and that I rock with that rhythm. I have faith in that rhythm because I feel like that rhythm is in alignment with God. And so try to rock with a certain rhythm and do things at my pace, and just try to be very smart and intelligent. And one thing I have to really learn, I had to learn to become more patient and know that it's coming in due time, and as long as I have strong faith in my ability. So
Definitely. Most
yeah.
definitely.
So let's go ahead and transition into dealing with stress. And so, like I said, a lot of times whenever we make decisions or we have a big decision coming up, we tend to stress ourselves out about it. One thing for sure, I've been stressing out about was like working for this church, which is a cool opportunity, but it's a crazy environment. And it's an environment that reminds me a little bit too much of my previous job. And so with that, of course, I have a family. I got the baby. Well, I have a family. And with the family, that's my wife and my baby, and our baby. And so, of course, you want to be the provider. And with the media company, it's not like I'm bringing in a lot of money at this time. And so, of course, the money will be great to have this part-time job, but also I have to think about, is it really worth my energy too? Because that's one thing that I'm giving up in exchange for the job. I'm giving them my energy. And the thing is, I also want to make sure that I manage my energy properly. And if I go into that environment and I end up allowing it to make me have negative energy that I may need to decompress from, or just make me become more stressed, and that I need to decompress and take time away from my family, then that's another factor that I need to consider as well. So just been stressing out about that myself. And so with that, the point that I'm trying to make is like I realizing that with that, I just need, of course, just make a decision and know that things are going to be okay eventually, and that as long as my faith is very solid, that I will get to where I want to get in life. But anyway, that's what actually inspired that topic of being just stress free, and also like me talking to this young lady at this gym that I go to, and she was talking about how she go to school and everything, and I told her like a very blanket statement, like, don't let things stress you out, which is like the most horrible thing that a person can say, because and if you're living, you're dealing with stress more than likely. Like if you're an adult, uh, paying bills and have a family and things like responsibilities, you're dealing with stress. And like in school, she's currently in school, and it's very stressful. I've done that before. I got my bachelor's and my master's degree. It's a very stressful process. And so me giving her that advice of like, don't stress out, was like terrible. And so that made me think about like, no, we need to actually provide people tips on how they can, manage stress in a healthy fashion. And so that's also what we want to discuss with the stress part of the show. So yeah, how did that make you feel, Cass?
Yeah, man, that's part of the process, man. Stress, the pressure of getting to our goals, the everyday life. We have these things arise that don't go according to plan, that try to stress us out. But stress, it all comes from the mind. It's something that we think about that adds anxiety or adds a feeling that we don't really like. An emotion comes up. So, we need to we can remove that by thinking on positive things, stopping ourselves, catch ourselves when we are going down that same old road of worry of, oh, how is this going to happen? Or they're going to look at me this way, or it may not pan out. And all these things that do not exist. It is it is imagination. Our imagination runs wild, but we could be imagining something better, positive, something that it is going to work out, that it is going to work out great, that I'm going to perform the best that I can. And, so it's about rejecting that negative thought, stopping it. And a way to stop it, because, we have so many thoughts, a way of stopping it, got it from somebody I was listening to, is like, when we have a thought, a way to stop a thought is to speak. If we're thinking something and you don't like what it is, then speak the opposite. Like, oh, this isn't going to work out. No, I'm strong. It's going to work out good. That thought has stopped already. It's blocked. It's stopped. And it could try to come back or whatever, but if you speaking out loud overrides our thought process, what we're thinking. So, that's a way of stopping the mind from taking us into this. It's like a movie or imagination, a thought process where we play it out and we can start sweating. We could make ourselves sick. That's how powerful our imagination and mind is if we allow it to go there. So it would be better just to stop it in its tracks, speak something positive. And that's like the renewing of the mind, to stop these the stressors that come up. It's gonna try. I mean, that's just part of our lives. These things come up to try to stress us out. It's like a test, and we need to decide that we are gonna accept the challenges that life brings us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is another challenge. I'm stopping it right here, this negative stuff, and I'm about to finish. I'm gonna stand up. I'm strong. I'm gonna fight through it. I ain't no punk. I'm going, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
standing our ground, man.
Yeah.
It's just the mind, and there's ways, there's techniques, there's things to stop it and use it to our advantage.
Mm-hmm. Great tip with saying that, whenever you have like a stream of negative thoughts or you have negative thoughts going on in your mind, to speak it, to stop those thoughts. Great tip. I will also suggest meditation for sure. Meditation just helps you control your mind. It like really strengthens your ability to control your mind. So whenever you may go through a time where you go down a negative spiral or negative, like just negative things are just happening in your mind, you're able to immediately like become aware of it first and foremost, and then stop it where you can redirect it and change, like, all right, change my thoughts to something that's positive, something that will bring you much more pleasure and much more reassurance, because whatever you think, you are attracting. You have to be very mindful of that. Whatever you think, you are attracting. And so if you think of these negative thoughts, those things are coming to you in the universe, whether you want them or not. And so it's just best that you just change your mind state. You always practice self-awareness. And whenever those negative thoughts occur, you can go outside. Like, I would say, like, meditation really helps whenever things become very, very overwhelming for yourself. I would say like overwhelming period was like the conference that I did a while back. I'm not and like looking back at it, I'm not sure why I was like so stressed out about it. Maybe because I was just thinking about the money and like making things make sense, whatever. But I like super duper stressed out about it, and I had to go outside a few times where I just like meditated, and so I can just pause my mind and just let my mind pause. And usually when that occurs, that's where you get moments of clarity. And so I got it's a good moment of clarity when I meditated, where I received words that said like everything's going to be fine, everything's going to be okay, and everything was fine. Everything did become okay because I did that conference. It was abysmal. It was an abysmal performance by Breeze Life Media, well, partially Breeze Life Media for sure. I own part of it, but now also like the crappy internet at the church. And so, but that opportunity led to me working with the current church, or me volunteer at the current church right now, and me learning some new things about like audio mixing and live audio mixing. And from that, I really learned how to become a better studio mixer, because I understood headroom a lot better. Like whenever you're like mixing like live audio, you really get the feel of like the room, like especially whenever there's like not that many people in the room, you get to feel the difference when there is like a lot of people in the room. So like a big difference, like where, if it's a lot of people in the room, it's a lot more bodies that's absorbing the energy of the music. So you have to raise things up. But if it's like not that many people, so you can like turn things down because not that many bodies absorbing that energy. And so like you really get to see like the magic and the beauty of sound and the energy that it is. It's just crazy. Like, oh, it's like really, like I felt like we were conducting whenever I was doing like live mixing. So just doing that whole process allowed me to become a better studio mixer in general. And I think like the beats that I made are like the best mixes I have done. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I A/B my mixes to like the likes of Mixed by Ali, like different mix engineers. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm going to compare my mixes to different mix engineers and make sure that I'm on par with the standard, like quality wise. Everything is really subjective, of course. Put that out there. Everything's subjective, but I like the quality that certain mix engineers yield with their mixes. So I'm studying some of them, make sure that my stuff is on par, and then I'm going to release it. But that opportunity, came, and I got that from that. And so I just told that story to just show you how, things can be stressful at some points, but understand that things are happening for a reason. Make your decisions fast, and have faith that everything will be okay.
Yeah, man, and I love that the faith, that's the foundation. You have to know that you're gonna believe, you're gonna have self belief
Yeah,
that you will get through this. That's most important because, I mean, I won't say most important, but that is essential because without that, I mean, there's no foundation. It's gonna crumble. Your person's going to give up in the midst of the stressors, the pressure, the first detour that comes for that journey or that path to their goal and what they're trying to do. I mean, really, it makes that journey that much more special because if it was easy and we just got a straight line there and it was given to us and it was on the silver platter and somebody picked us up and carried us there to the prize and we didn't have to work for it, then I mean it's nothing to talk about. It's nothing that could help anybody else. Those stressors, those tough points that we fight through to get there are what make it so valuable and so where it could be influential to help somebody else. So
absolutely. True. And what helps me like with my faith is that, well, yeah, my faith is very helpful because I feel as though that God gives people visions for a reason. Like, and the thing is, your vision is your vision. And it's on you to really make sure that the vision is it comes to fruition, not on anybody else. And I
right.
do subscribe to the theory. And it's funny that I kind of had this theory before I even read the Quran. I'm like still currently reading it, and very insightful book, man. Very good game. Um, so like, but beforehand, I had like this thought of like, what if, or this theory of like, all right, what if at the end of our life, God goes over like everything that we did, all the decisions that we made, and all of the decisions that we made where we didn't have faith in Him. He'll like question like, hey, what's up with this? Like, I obviously showed you these signs of you need to do this, and you didn't listen to it. Like, what happened? You don't believe in me? And I think it would be like a good scroll of. I have like an imagination that basically God will go over everything that you did and just check you on the things at the time that you didn't believe in Him, and then He will show you like probably like the alternative route that would have happened if you would have believed in Him. So that's like a theory. Might be a good movie premise too. but
Yeah.
but yeah, so I imagine that to be the case, and so with that said, that helps keeps me inspired, keeps me faithful, and making sure that all right, you know what, wherever God has given me vision wise, I need to go ahead and just knock it out, and just in case that occurs where he'd be like, hey, what's up with this? I'm like, nah, I got you. You know what I'm saying? No, I did this move right here. What are you talking about, G? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you do it like that, and so yeah, man, faith is very important. And like we had a full faith. I feel like my faith has like increased from probably 80% last week to like 100%, 110%. Really, I'm like full steam ahead. Like I'm gonna get it, killer mode. I will kill for it. You know what I'm saying? Not like not literally like that, but like
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get what I'm gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Nobody basically like nobody's gonna get in my way and
Yeah.
what I'm gonna get in life. And so because the vision was given to me, it's on me to fulfill that vision. And so that vision will be fulfilled by any means necessary. So yeah,
Most
basically that's
definitely.
what I'm saying.
For
So yeah.
sure, man. Yeah. I mean, like we said, man, the stress, we're gonna come in contact with that. It's a good thing. It's like lifting weights.
Yep.
It's like you wanna you and the stress, it shows us how durable we are.
Mm-hmm.
How far we could take it. We can go a little further. We've been past a certain weight or level, and then we encounter a smaller one. We're like, well, I've handled this weight before.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I'm built to go further than this, and it's life, man. Let's
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
experience it and enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. I do treat it as like weights. Like you get stressed out, you get to your stress point whenever you lift, and then eventually your muscles will become more stronger and more strong, more so, and then like you'll be able to lift more. So it's just like that. Whenever you have these stress points, you push past it. Whenever you have that same stress point again, you be like, okay, it's not a big deal because I've done it before. So yeah, I mean, just keep going towards those uncomfortable situations where you're being stressed out in the positive way where you're growing, and continue to push and know that at the end of it you will achieve what you want to achieve in life. Just have strong faith and belief in yourself, and you will achieve what you want to achieve in life for sure. I believe that.
Most definitely. And that's it. Believe that. Believe that, y'all. Believe that.
So, and so, you have any other tips you want to give in regards to like how to manage stress? I know one thing for sure that I do is like working out and meditation and prayer. Like, so, what are some things that you do that you make that helps you manage stress?
Those definitely avid prayer, working out, that self-belief, self-awareness, and even break down, have an understanding of what's stressing you out. Why are you feeling stressed? If you need to get a pen and pad, write it down, review what's going on, what went out, what happened throughout the day, the journaling, and just put it down on paper and really like break it down, because that's the main thing. When we break things down, then we are able to see, from the bird's eye view, rather than like on the games where you're in player mode, where you're right there. Back it up to the bird's eye view, or a wider view, where you can see the whole picture, like what's really going on. Exactly. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I reacting this way to what's going on? Then you can handle the stressors, the obstacles, whatever it is at hand, and you'll be able to tackle it better. You'll be prepared. That's the thing. It, it was some post that they had Adrian Broner. He's a boxer that was kind of wilding out. Supposed to be like the next Floyd Mayweather, but
nah.
Yeah, he went the opposite way. He was drinking, he was this and that. And the person said, like, hey, Adrian Broner, he blows up too big in between fights. And then when he has to come back down, he wastes all his energy having to drop down so much weight. He doesn't bring power. He can't bring his power to the fight. So when it's fight time, he's just trying to survive in there. He can't punch and all that because he had to drop all that weight. Floyd, he remained close to that weight. So it wasn't a problem for him to drop off a couple of pounds to get fight ready. So he's coming in there prepared, ready. So be prepared. And how we do that is we plan, we prepare ourselves to execute in the right way, journaling, just being, like you said, self-aware, and taking notes of what's going on around you. Like, don't just be living and not, experiencing and taking notes of what's going on, like really reflecting on what's going on, So.
Absolutely true, man. I rock with everything that you said, man. I don't need to add anything else, to be honest. I just want to actually do want to say one thing, man. That journaling thing is not journaling thing, but journaling is very important. Like I was telling my wife, man, a lot of times a lot of us, I want to put on her, a lot of us have issues where we just let things linger in our mind. And the best thing that I do for sure that relieves that stress is like to write it down, to just get it out of my mind. And once you write it down, you can read it back, and then that's that. Usually it's like gone. It's like, especially like you have like just ongoing thoughts about the same thing over and over. Like just write it down, especially like you have thoughts about what you need to get done. Write it down, and let it be done. Write it down in your journal, and somehow, some way, shape, or form, it'll come back to you where it gets done in a weird way. So just very interesting. So yeah, you like super duper stressed, write out how you feel, write out why you're stressed out, write out your emotions, and then just get it out first and foremost. Then next step will be to talk with some loved ones too, who can help inspire you and keep you motivated. That helps out as well. So yeah, do those things, man, and that'll help you for sure manage your stress, and so you will be able to achieve what you want to achieve in life, man.
For sure. And to that point of the writing down, like what you're talking about, like that actually, I was watching E.T., one of his videos, and he was talking about
Eric
like,
Thomas.
yeah, he was talking about like write down like your goals or whatever, like 3 times a day or 5 times a day, because when you write it down, you're moving that energy from your mind to the paper. You're getting it out. So like when we speak, the energy's up here, but we're moving that energy out. We're projecting that energy. So writing it down is projecting the energy. I don't know how much, but it is changing the form of that energy from in here to out there. So, you know, that's what's up, man.
It's the first step into bringing something into the physical. You know, writing it down. It's the first step. You look at it, then it will come to you, you know, eventually. So 100% game given in this podcast.
Good game.
All concentrated game. That's what we provide. Concentrated game. So yeah, Kaz, go ahead and give out your social. Tell people where they can find you.
Most definitely. On Instagram, CAS_THRIVE. Also on Facebook, can hit me up there. And on IG with the Boxing Bell. Again, that's the Boxing Bell on IG, and then also on Facebook. And I do private lessons for kids and adults, and you know, for USA Boxing. I have a certification, so with boxing, with kickboxing, all of those type of things. So holler at your boy.
Yeah, buddy. Make sure you check out Kaz stuff for sure. For me, Shawn Breeze on IG, OG Shawn Breeze on Facebook, Twitter, ShawnBreeze.com, of course, eCreativeMasterminds.com, of course, and BreezeLikeMedia.com, of course. And so, yo, check those things out. If you want to just, you know, link up with us and find us and, you know, connect with us and everything like that. I don't think about you probably talk about this outline about, you know, helping you get your website up and running. I'm not sure if you have a website yet for your stuff, so people can go straight to you and with your boxing information. So you can do that.
Definitely got to do that.
I got a nice template for you. You know, what I'm saying, you just get it done real quick. So, so yeah, man, that's where you can find us. The Creative Masterminds podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in for sure. And we are out, man. Peace.
Peace out, y'all.